letter to the FTC saying this: given Mr. Zuckerberg's deceptive statements, his personal control over Facebook, and his role in approving key decisions related to the sharing of user data, the FTC can and must hold him personally responsible for these continued violations. Let's bring in Carl Szabo, the NetChoice Vice President and General Counsel, also a former employee at the Federal Trade Commission. Good to see you. Good morning, Carl.
Thank you for having me.
In your opinion, with your experience, how long can Mark Zuckerberg be insulated from accountability?
You know, the situation for the Federal Trade Commission here is this is no slam dunk case for them. They're certainly on shaky ground trying to enforce their 2011 consent decree against Facebook. And because they are on such shaky ground, the idea that they could put in onerous requirements on the board or the president of Facebook just doesn't seem reasonable here.
So you're expecting a fine instead?
Yeah, I think we're going to expect a couple $2 billion fine. This should have little impact on the market. The market's already prepared for this, and everyone is pretty much expecting it. I don't think anyone will really be surprised by it.
So this is amazing. Based on what you're saying and the Facebook earnings report that comes out after the bell today, you don't see any repercussions from perhaps a fine, well, in your case, definitely a fine, but perhaps even some onerous changes at the top of Facebook by regulators because of all of this?
I don't expect to see any significant onerous regulations or requirements put on top of Facebook's board or president. And that's because, as I mentioned earlier, the FTC is kind of on shaky ground. Yeah. What the FTC is trying to do here is enforce their 2011 consent decree. I don't really see any violation of it. I've done deep analysis of it. So this is going to be more of an agreement between the two parties, and it's looking to be a couple $2 billion is what we're hearing.
But Carl, doesn't the FTC have to show their European counterparts that, hey, we're serious too? Because Europe's doing a lot to help customers feel safe, keep their privacy when it comes to what they do online?
You know, I think a couple $2 billion will be a significant way of showing force from the Federal Trade Commission. When it comes to privacy enforcement, Britain fined Google about $600,000 recently over privacy violations, and the EU fined Facebook about $57 million. Now that we're talking about billions from the Federal Trade Commission, that's a pretty sizable fine comparatively, and it's a great opportunity for the FTC to beat their chest.
And then quickly, anything happening at the state level here at home that you're worried about that could impact Facebook and other social media tech companies?
Yeah, we're seeing a real push at the state level from states like California, Massachusetts, Illinois to really impose onerous privacy regulations on businesses even outside their state. And so what we really need is federal legislation to create standards across the country.
Got it. Carl, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And